Okay, so as we know, my name is Ruti Malawali, the financial market analyst, BU Prime, Lagos. Good morning, sir, Mr. Kelly. Good morning. Good to see you here. So, I think I did some analysis on Monday. Can I still recall some of guys? Somebody advised all the instruments they checked on Monday. The forecast we gave. Okay, I remember vividly we talked about gold, and the market is already favoring gold. I'm just trying to do a recap of what we did on Monday and see how the market has reacted to those instruments. Where's my gold? Okay, I've seen gold. Yeah. So we say gold is still trying to take its time. It broke out of this lower trend, lower support, which you said price should break before there is going to be bearish movement. And it broke it, that's made about 126 pips down. Though in real sense, you likely would have entered at the close of this candle here. So, I mean, that should have been currently like about 70 pips, which is not bad. Really, it's not bad. But then there's still potential for gold to still sell more than this. Then, currently now, it's also on a minor support level at this place. So, I don't know why gold is taking its time like this. But then, like I always say, we don't control the market. So we exercise some patience. This is support. This is support. This is support. So if price is able to break this level, then we should see more bearish movement on gold. So if you are on a gold trade, you can still hold on. We just want to wait for price to break clearly below this level and more bearish movement to be seen. If you can see here, our RSI is already below 50, our MACD is already below 0. That tells you that we are on a strong bearish movement on gold. So you can still hold on to your gold trade, and hopefully we expect some more bearish movements maybe today and in the coming days ahead. And if you're on the group yesterday, I dropped a setup for GBPCHF. Now, if you are regular on this class by now, you should be able to, draw some of these patterns yourself and watch as the market, reacts to it. Because I tell you, price action works. It's one of the most consistent strategies in Forex trading. It works. It's the price itself is what that will determine where it's going. Yeah, there are many strategies I agree, but then this works for me. I identify patterns, I plot it, and I wait, and I see the market go in line. So I drew this the WhatsApp group yesterday, and it's a falling wedge, and we can see. I said entry could be made when price breaks out of the trend line and also this minor resistance at 1.14325. And it just happened like that. Okay, let's assume you entered at the close of this candle. This candle that broke it. From that place up to the most recent high here, that's about 73 pips, which is not bad. Even if it's Fibonacci 38 to target it, that's how many pips? That's 57 pips. It's not bad for one trade. If you did this on 50 on 0.1 lot, now please mind you, when I use 0.1 lot, I'm just talking generally. You have to use a lot size that is in line with your account balance. So, but like I said, just assume you are on the 0.1 lot trade. That's $57 in one day. In one day, because the price hit that level. Today is 17, that's 16, 18 hours, that's 6 p.m. You can imagine by 6 p.m. yesterday, you made $50. $50, $57 rather, $57 along with our exchange rate here, you want to withdraw 550. So let's say 550 times $57, you made 31,000 naira in a single day. I tell you. And if you have more capital in your trading account and you're able to trade like one standard lot, that's 300,000 naira. Imagine on one day. Yeah, very, very possible. Very possible. Anything is possible in FX. But I always preach it, manage your risk as much as possible. But then price action works. It works. It works. So this came out as a successful trade. It's still possible it might go. I don't advise, if you have not entered up till now, I don't advise you enter. I don't. Though it might likely form, it's trying to form like an inverse head and shoulder, head, then my form a second shoulder and go. But then if you've entered and you are in profit, close it. There's going to be another trade at that day. Don't use emotion to lose, a current trade. If you miss some profit, good, close it. Move on. Rinse and repeat. Look for the next available trade and make some money. And also, I remember I dropped the setup for Bitcoin yesterday, BTC yesterday. I think I analyzed Bitcoin for us, I think last week, Friday or so, if I can still remember correctly. And it's still bearish. And you can see, on the daily time frame, you can see it on the daily time frame that is giving us a lot of bearish setup. Price hit, a resistance on the daily time frame, a resistance, resistance. And on Monday, it closed with a pin back, still on the resistance level. Then we equally have a rising wedge, and this is significant because we're expecting price to break out. So if price breaks out, which it's already coming close to the lower trend line, this is where price is. Let's zoom down to 4 hours. On 4 hours, you can see the candle is already facing down. This candle is already facing down. All things being equal, if it breaks out, then you must be ready to see some, bearish trend on BTC USD. And if it breaks out, using Fibonacci as a take profit level, the levels is going to target is level Fibonacci 50, which is $22,078. That means the value of Bitcoin will drop from 23,000 that it is currently to $22,078. And if there's no reversal at that point, it could proceed to drop to $21,290 per BTC. Okay, that's it on the recap for the previous setup. Let's look at what we have today. Now, today, the first instrument I want to analyze is the Euro GBP. Now, you can see that Euro GBP is currently forming a falling wedge. Now, when it comes to chart patterns, falling wedges, channels, head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulder, these are patterns that occur repeatedly in the Forex market. It occurs repeatedly. Though before there is going to be a breakout here, it seems Euro GBP might still sell a little more. It might still sell more before any reversal. It might sell more, And if you remember this Euro GBP trade from last week, this is the trade that on the daily time frame, I said that price hit a trend line 3 times and was making a bearish movement. Now that tells you that all these patterns work. You just need to put your eyes to hit. You need to your eyes just need to be sharp. Price hit this level 3 times, and I said it was going to sell, and it's still selling. Yeah. In fact, I remember vividly as an analysis last week, I said it was going to form. Okay, I think, yeah, on Monday. I remember now on Monday, I said that this was forming a rising wedge. So we come down to 1 hour and we make our entry. So if you enter this trade since Monday, 15th, yes, it broke out on Monday. Just a minute. Okay, that's not working for now. You enter this trade on Monday, just as it broke out here, It has made how many pips? It has sold for 49 pips. Let's just say average 50 pips. So imagine you picked a 50 pips here on Monday, between Monday and now, and a 50 pips again on GBP CHF. That's 100 pips. On 0.1 lot, that is $100. Conversion to Naira, 55,000 Naira. Not bad. Not bad. And you're trading, if you're trading one standard lot, that is 550. That's $500 rather. $500 times 550. That's 275,000 Naira in trade, in profits. Not bad at all. So this pattern works. It works and it works. And I have a good news for everyone. You know, we just got authorization from our management that going forward, we're going to be posting the link to the recorded version of this morning analysis, even right on the WhatsApp group, you know, so that everybody can have access to it. Everybody, whether funded or not funded, everybody should have access to it. So the essence of this is so that you can learn how to trade by yourself. You know, like I used to tell you, we're not just giving you the fish, we are teaching you how to catch the fish. And the way you can reciprocate back to us is to invite your friends to be a part of this and also fund your account, you know, and start trading. Demo money is not real money. I'm telling you, you can be seeing all these things like this and demo. You're not making any money until you put your own money, you fund your account and start trading. That's when you make profit from all this analysis. So fund your account today and start profiting. So like I was saying, EuroGBP might still sell more because this is already a rejection candle. It might drop further, you know, but then later we're expecting a breakout. But for now, it's still a bit bearish biased, but ultimately we're expecting a bullish breakout on EuroGBP. So for today, we are bullish biased. If you are on a bearish trade, hold on. You can say hold on, let it drop a little, you know, probably let it come to form a support level. Let it come to form a support, maybe a reversal somewhere around here, you know, before you close your trade and expect a reversal afterwards. So we're bearish, we're bullish biased on Euro GBP. Now the next instrument I want us to look at is the card CHF. Now you can see on my screen here. Okay, let me do it again so that you get how I came about this analysis of card CHF. All right, card CHF as of yesterday formed a falling wedge on the 4-hour time frame. This is a falling wedge, and price broke out of the falling wedge. When a falling wedge is a bullish reversal pattern. So when you see a falling wedge, you're expecting price to go in the bullish direction. So it broke out. However, here you can see that the candle here hits a resistance. Now, in reality, what is forming here is this. This is actually forming an inverse head and shoulder, head, and neckline. It's going to come to test this trend line and break out. You know, yeah, this is an inverse head and shoulder within a falling wedge. But then it has hit a resistance at the neckline. It has hit a resistance, and that's why for now we are bearish biased. This is the neckline. Okay, let me not take it too far. This is the neckline. Resistance, resistance, and price is hitting a rejection at this point. So time is just 9:32 a.m. now. By 10 o'clock, if this remains this way, you can take a sell. Excuse me. Yeah, we can take a sell on Euro C, sorry, CAD CHF, but then it's going to be short term. So it's a minor, it's a retracement in the real sense. It's a retracement because price, but then price will likely, if price closes with this current pattern by the close of this candle by 10 a.m., then we'll see some drop. Let's measure the pips. Just something, not too much, but if you want to take it, you can. Might drop just like around 40 pips. That's not too small in the real sense. But then, I like to practice risk management as much as possible. Just target like 20 pips. 20 pips is safe. Target like 20 pips of a sell on this. That's if this pattern remains the same way it is by 10 o'clock. You can target like 20 pips and you're out. Because it will come here, complete the inverse head and shoulder, and you see a bullish movement. The long term is still bullish, but short term it will sell. So we are bearish bias on the short term and bullish bias on the long term on CAD CHF. Okay, we've already analyzed gold, GBP CHF also, Bitcoin also. Okay, CHF JPY. And you can see there's a lot of activity on the CHF pairs today. That means there's something going on with CHF as an independent currency. Now this is a CHF JPY. You can see this is daily time frame, and price has hit this level. Price has hit this level 1, 2, 3, 4, and currently price is ranging on that level. So price has not been able to break this trend line for a while, for like a month. This started way back in June, and this is August, so like 2 months. Price has not been able to break out. It is towards the end of June 29th. So if you come down to 4-hour time frame, you can see that price is currently hitting that level. Now this is looking like a head and shoulder pattern, So if it plays out, if it plays out just like this, then this might just be the neckline. So if we see price unable to break this shoulder, then we're expecting a sharp drop. And if it ever drops, then you can take an entry just some pips below the neckline. So you can, in this case, you can actually set a pending order. Pending orders are good when it comes to trading patterns like head and shoulder pattern or double top and double bottom. It's better because price will actually move so fast when it breaks the neckline. So just on this, at this tip here, you can set a sell stop pending order so that if price ever comes down on CHF-JPY, you can capture the move and not miss it. So you can take a sell stop. Let me get the actual figure out for you. Yeah, at 140.388. You can set a sell stop pending order there. Now it's going to be a swing trade, so it may take a while before it evolves, but when it does, it's going to be a valid trade. Reason because price is coming from a trend line and we're expecting it to reverse, and secondly because we can confirm it with a chart pattern, which is our head and shoulder pattern. So we are bearish biased on CHF JPY. Then we look at Euro USD and USD CHF. Now this is Euro USD. Let me start it all over again. Just a minute. Okay, you can see that Euro USD, fine. The analysis earlier was a sell. That was on Monday, and it actually has sold because it broke the neckline here. This is a rising wedge. This is a rising wedge. The move is not as strong as expected, but then you only take what the market gives you. In FX, you can't take more than the market is willing to give. You'll run into trouble. So we actually thought it will move more than that, but from what I'm seeing, um, okay, you can see it has actually made most of its move. So nothing is wrong with this. It already hit the Fibonacci 50. So if you made an entry here at 50, you made 41 pips. At Fibonacci 61.8, that's 90. Yes, it didn't touch it. If you remember when I spoke to you about Fibonacci, that you don't need to use the exact figure. Some pips above it is safe because market may not get to that exact figure before you have a retracement or reversal. So let's assume you actually entered your Euro USD trade here and some pips above 50, that's 33 pips here, 82, 33, 82, that's 100 pips, 110. See how many pips we generated this week. 110 on Euro USD, 50 on Euro GBP, another 57 on GBP CHF. We've generated over 200 pips already this week. Imagine trading that on 0.1 lot. That is $200 on one standard lot. That is $2,000. So please don't miss this analysis. And the way we analyze it, try to follow it through, and you see that you make a lot of profit. So it has hit Fibonacci 50, and currently, if you go to the daily time frame, it already hits a support level. Support. And as at the candle of yesterday could not break it. So it's a value support level. So if you come down to 1 hour, then on 1 hour, we're seeing something. And somebody tell me what we're seeing. You've been my student for a while, you know these things now. Yeah, let somebody unmute and tell us what pattern you are seeing on 1 hour. Are we there? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Ali, what pattern are you seeing?
For me, I can see head and shoulder. The inverse head and shoulder, sir.
Very correct. Perfectly, you're correct. So that's it. You're seeing an inverse head and shoulder on a support level. What does that tell you? That the market is going to reverse. It's going to go in the bullish direction. Shoulder, head, second shoulder, and boom. And if you want to now add as many confirmations as possible. If you want to add another confirmation, then I will say I'm also seeing a falling wedge. Okay, okay, is it a wedge or a channel? This looks more like a channel, a descending channel. Just add other confirmations that you can see. So three reasons why we believe Euro USD will buy. One, price hits the support level on the daily time frame. Then on the 1 hour, we are seeing an inverse head and shoulder, and we're equally seeing a descending channel. Then thirdly, we wait for price to break the neckline. This is like a resistance level. Yeah, normally the neckline, this should be the shoulder high up there, but then you can still take this place like this. But then you need to be very careful of this trade because I would rather say you wait for price to break even this tip here, because that's a minor resistance. This is still a minor resistance. So if price is able to break above this level, then we should target, we should get ready for an entry. And if you use our Fibonacci, we can target Fibonacci 50, that's about 40 pips, and Fibonacci 61.8, that's about 70 pips. So you have a value set up for today. Just watch out, wait for price to break above 1.01958, and you can take a buy on Euro USD. It's just a minute. Let me turn off this. And finally, we'll look at USD CHF. Now, USD CHF is negatively correlated to Euro USD. So for me, I don't advise you take both of them at the same time. You can just take one. So peradventure you missed the Euro USD trade. Maybe you were not around, you were busy, something happened. And you now see the entry on USD CHF. Fine, you can take that. And this is a very straightforward setup because this is just a rising wedge, a very perfect setup. This tells us we're expecting a sell on USD CHF. Let's check the higher time frame and see if we have any other supporting pattern. If you look at this, let's see if the three of them can touch. Okay, looks like it's touching. Let's go down to 4 hour. Okay, it's perfect. It's touching it. Now this is telling us that price is descending and has not been able to break this trend line. For those dropping comments, let me finish this analysis. I'll change your comment. So this is a descending, trend, and currently price is eating it, and it's forming like a pin bar. Now we can only conclude this a pin bar at the close of this candle, which is 10 a.m. It's already 9:44 a.m. now. So in the next 16 minutes, if price closes on a 4-hour candle for USD CHF like this, then it's a confirmed pin bar. And let me zoom it so you can see it now. This is what I'm saying. Now we have a descending pattern already, and if price closes by 10 p.m., 10 a.m. like this, then this will be a confirmed pin bar. So if that happens, this can also be a resistance level. First reason, we have a trend line that price has not broken, which goes as far back as the daily time frame. Second reason, well, this one is still potential. It has not fully happened yet, but then we are seeing a potential pin bar. That's second reason for itself. Third reason, price already is hitting a resistance level. So if you come down to 1 hour time frame, we can see the trend line, and this forms a channel, an ascending channel. So 4 reasons to consider selling USD CHF. On the daily time frame, you have a trend line that is not broken. On 4-hour time frame, we are seeing a potential pin bar. 1 hour, we are seeing a resistance, and also on 1 hour, we are seeing an ascending channel. So when price breaks out of USD CHF, when it breaks out of this lower trend line, then you can take a sell on USD CHF. And if that happens, you can target your profit level using Fibonacci. Okay, if it breaks out below Fibonacci 23.6, you can target Fibonacci 50. That's about 35 pips. And Fibonacci 7.8, that's about 3 pips. Let's say 50. 35, 50 pips, that's a potential 80 pip trade. But like I said, I will advise you take just one, either Euro USD or USD CHF, because both of them are negatively correlated, meaning they go in opposite direction. If Euro USD is buying, USD CHF will sell. So often I don't advise you take both of them together since they are not going in the same direction. Okay, that's my analysis for this morning. Let me take the what people have here. Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, good morning, sir. Please analyze JPY peers. Okay. Okay, before I go to JPY peers, does anybody have any question on all the instruments I've analyzed so far? Question, you want a better explanation, whatever.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
More explanation on using Fibonacci for my colleagues to also have something. If you want to use Fibonacci to sell, as in looking for your sell, how can you draw the Fibonacci? Are you draw from up to down, or from down to down, and from down to up? And if you want to use Fibonacci to look for your buy entry, which is bullish as in trend, are you going to draw from up to down or from down to up, as in how to use it to look for your buy or sell entry?
All right, let's do that. Now, when you want to use Fibonacci for a sell trade like this, let me clean it off. Let me clean this pencil design here. Okay. Now, we found our, but let me try and use the channel tool here. All right, this is a perfect channel. Now we found our channel and we know that we're expecting a sell. So what you do is that select your Fibonacci tool. I believe you can all see my cursor up there. You click on your Fibonacci tool. Since we're expecting a sell, you come to the most recent low. Can you see my Fibonacci, cursor here? You come to the most recent low, press down. This is left click on your laptop, mouse, and drag from the most recent low to the most recent high, which is up there. Can you see it? So now you have set your Fibonacci for a bearish trade. You set it this way because you're expecting price to fall from the most recent low to the most recent high. I hope that is taken. Now, if price eventually now breaks out of the pattern you have, then you can now target, in real sense, you can target 3 levels, but sometimes for proper risk management, you may use just 2 levels. And it also depends on how close the price broke out. Let's say price broke out from, this candle breaks out and a new candle opens here. You can target the first level here at 31, sorry, Fibonacci 38.2. Let me zoom it clearly for us. You can target your first level here at Fibonacci 38.2 as your first take profit level. It's not mandatory you make it 3. In fact, if you can just target 38.2 and 50, it's okay. See, in FX, don't be greedy. Don't always be greedy. Just take it small and compound. It's better and safer for you. But then if you feel you want to take just 2 trades, it's still possible. You can target also, it's either you target 38.2 or you target 38.2 and 50.0, or you target 50.0 and 61.8. But if you want to take the 3 of them, please use a small lot size. Yeah, use the small lot size. So let's say you're on an account of $1,000, for instance. You can use 0.02 for each of them. 0.02, 0.02, 0.02. That's the 0.06. I mean, you're still safe. Very, very safe. And if it's 2 levels you want to target, that's 50.0 and 61.8. You can still use the same 0.02 because you know the price is going to move more. You're having a longer run. Or maximum, you can use 0.03. Don't use 0.05 for 2 trades. That's a 0.1 lot on $1,000. Though, if you check materials online, it's allowed for $1,000, but then it's still not safe. You minimize your lot size as much as possible. So I think I answered the question. That's how to set it for a sell trade. For a buy trade, let's look at Euro USD. For a buy trade like we're expecting on Euro USD, we'll do the opposite. We select our Fibonacci tool and we drag from the most recent high, which is up there, to the most recent low, which is down here. We drag from the most recent high because we're expecting it to drop. We're expecting price to drop and now buy. So we drag from the most recent high to the most recent low. And just like the other one, you can target your different Fibonacci levels for take profit. However, I always advise that you don't use the exact figure of the Fibonacci. I will always emphasize it to you, we don't control the market. We don't. We are not the only one in this market. We're not the JP Morgan is trading in this market. George Soros is trading with billions of dollars. Those are the people that actually control the market. So your $1,000, expect to trade in line with the way these people trade. You're going to have issues. So, and many times those people are not targeting, they are not targeting the exact figure. So why do you want to target it? Because you want to make just 0.1 pip. I mean 0. Whatever, just very minor pip. You don't need it. Just target some few pips. It's discretionary. If you want to start calculating 5 pips, well, if you have the time, you can do that. But then generally, I just use discretion. Let's look at it. Normally, they will say like 5 pips before the Fibonacci level. So, okay, you can see now this is like almost 3 pips. Okay, if you want to target 5 pips, let's look at this. Okay, this is already 6 pips. This 5 pips will be here. If you feel you can calculate it, why not? Take your time and calculate it. But for me, I just use discretion, just some few pips away, Because the reason is because sometimes price may not get to that actual 61 before the reversal occur, so that you don't get caught. It can be painful if the trade is in your favor, and just before it hits or take profit, it's in reverse. That's what we're trying to prevent. So in order to prevent that, make sure you are not using the exact figure. Just use some pips, before it. That's for a buy, some pips before. For a sell, some pips. Okay, I think it works on both sides. On either side, yeah, some pips before the Fibonacci level for a buy, and even for a sell, some pips before it also. The other way around, some pips. This is a sell trade we're looking at. Some pips. Some pips. You can see that I didn't calculate it, they look almost the same size, just by discretion. You'll be safe. So I hope I answered you, Mr. Ali.
Yes, sir.
All right. So someone is saying we should look at, okay, the JPYPS, and that's Mr. Emmanuel, and Mr. Kelly wants us to look at GPS. So let's look at the JPYPS first. All right, the first one here is AUDJPY. Okay, let's do our top-down analysis. Daily time frame. Can we cite something? Nothing. 4 hours. Okay, I think I'm saying something here. Let's go back to daily. Now, daily time frame, we are seeing, just like I think that should be the CHFJPY. Yeah, we saw something like this. CHFJPY has not been able to break a trend line like this on a daily time frame. It's like it's selling when it hits it. I think similar thing is happening to the AUDJPY likewise. So if you drop down to 4 hours, then this is also forming a shoulder, a edge, and a second shoulder. But then this one is not as sharp as what we are seeing on CHF JPY. But then it's still valid. It's still in the process. It has not completed yet, but that's what I believe it's forming. If it turns out like that, good. If it doesn't turn out like that, that's not the only trade I'm looking at. That's actually my view about it. Sometimes it's not really all the trades you analyze that will work out exactly like that. Sometimes the market goes the opposite direction. But if the market does not go in line with your analysis, you've only saved yourself the stress of having a losing trade. That's it. And that's why you look at many pairs. If you analyze like 7 pairs, and even if it is 4 that comes, in line with it, perfect. You take it and you make your profits. The other ones that didn't go, You don't control the market. The market decided to do what it wants to do. That's not, you don't need to start feeling bad over that. It's not your market. It's the global market, So we're equally seeing the formation of a head and shoulder pattern on AED-JPY. So, but then the shoulder here, like I said, I would rather stick with CHF-JPY. That's more clearer. This one, the neckline, it's not looking so much too good like that. For me, I like to, when I analyze instrument, like we'll do all the JPY pairs. So we've seen CHF-JPY, and we can see that that one has a very good pattern. We've seen AED-JPY is equally bearish. So let's note that. So let's look for the next JPY. This is CAD JPY. Let me clean up this. Okay, on the daily too, top down. Now we're not seeing anything of daily here. On 4 hours, this level here is looking, this tip is looking like a resistance. It's looking like a resistance. Okay, so we zoom down to 1 hour. Okay, just a resistance level. Fine. Now, this is what will happen here. Now, mark my choice of words. I said could happen, not will happen. I don't control the market. It may be not. But then I'm seeing from experience, this is looking like a shoulder, and probably this may be a head and a second shoulder and drop. Reason because it looks like if your pairs are going there, so this may likely follow suit. But then until it happens, you just take note. That's why it's good to have a training journal. You write it down in your training journal as an evolving pattern, and you continue checking to see if it's going to happen like that. But if you're familiar with your patterns, this is what I likely feel may happen. And if it happens, and this is the neckline gets broken. In fact, you can take once if at all. Okay, it's already 7 o'clock now. So if it begins to sell, if it begins to sell, it doesn't mean you should take a sell immediately, because if you just sell to this neckline, go back up to prepare for a down. So I'd rather say you wait till you see price drop, go up, then you set a pending order, a sell stop order just below this tip here. Why do we use the tip? It's the preferred level. It's close to the neckline, just a few pips away from it. And it shows that price was able to, though not completely break, but at least tested the neckline and couldn't break it at that time. So whenever it breaks to the next line, then we see a continuous bearish movement. So like I said, you wait for it to come, test this neckline, it can go up, then drop. Now you can now set your sell stop order at 104.185. So today is Wednesday. Keep watching. Just keep your eye on CAD JPY. Keep your eye on CAD JPY for a bearish trade. But then you take it, like I said, when the pattern completely forms. All right. So we have a bearish setup on CHF JPY, perfect one, and an evolving one already on the CAD JPY. The one on the CHF JPY is on 4 hours. This CAD JPY is on 1 hour. So just take note of the time frame. This is the CHF JPY.
Hello, okay, sir.
I'm with you.
All right. Based on your analysis on USD CHF,
yeah,
the 4 hours candle close, okay, but not perfect pin bar.
Okay, let me see. Let me check. Let me rush there now. Okay, yeah. Notwithstanding, now this is 1 hour. Let's go to 4 hour. Fine. It's not a pin bar. It didn't close as a pin bar. Good. But then notwithstanding, this is still a resistance. We still have our valid resistance, even though it's not a pin bar. So we only removed the pin bar formation from it. We still have a resistance, except if price now breaks this resistance and go up. But then if it breaks the resistance and go up, if it breaks the resistance and go up, it will still hit the channel and might still prepare for a sell. These are evolving patterns. You watch. That's why patience is a key. Eventually, you will make your peeps. Just have to be patient. When I dropped the signal on the GBP CHF yesterday, the funny thing is that when I dropped that thing on that same hour of the candle, just after I dropped the analysis. Let me go back there. It formed a pin back on that same minor resistance, meaning it was going to sell. But then I was sure what I dropped, so I left it. I've dropped it. This is what I'm saying. Just after I dropped, why is this thing doing this? Okay. Just after I dropped the signal, or the analysis rather, then you can see this candle. I was just, immediately I finished posting this, then this one just started retracing and formed a pin back on the resistance, which is normally a sell. But because I know what I analyzed, I know this is it's a falling wedge, so you should buy. Well, I didn't panic. I just waited. The worst that will happen is that it will not break out and I wouldn't take the trade. That's the worst that will happen. And if I don't take the trade, I don't have a reason to lose. But then it eventually worked out as planned and still broke it out. So let's just patiently look at USDCHF2. So if it does not break this level, this resistance level, then we're expecting the sell. If it breaks it, you hold on. Don't say because it broke it, start buying. Because like I said, it may hit this channel and still drop. So anyway, we are still bearish bias on the USDCHF, except we now have a new pattern altogether. But for now, we are still bearish biased. All right, so we looked at CHJPY, AUDJPY, CAD Let's look at EUROJPY. EUROJPY is looking completely different from the others. It's not looking like it's ready for a bearish movement yet. I'm not seeing anything, apart from bearish, I'm not even seeing any pattern at the moment on EUROJPY. So we leave it. If we can't find anything, we leave it. GBPJPY. Daily. Okay, on the daily, it's looking like price already is hitting a resistance level. Okay, let's zoom down to 4 hours. It's not looking too perfect on 4 hours, but then let's see the daily again. Now you don't force any trade. Yeah, it's there on the daily. It's there. It's eat it on the daily. So we'll come down to 1 hour. Okay, now this is 1 hour. Now this is what will likely happen. It's a forecast. Price action forecast. This is looking like a shoulder. This is looking like a X. You come down, form a second shoulder, and drop. Just like the CAD JPY, just exercise patience. And if it plays out just like this, then this becomes a neckline, and you can target a sell at the tip of this shadow of the neckline. You can target a sell, that's at 160.128. You can target the sell. It's an evolving pattern. It's not yet complete. I'm just using experience to look at it. But it's looking like a shoulder, a head. And mind you, price already hit a resistance level here. So naturally, we should be expecting some kind of a reversal. So, and when you have price, I'm talking just from experience. If you have price in this kind of pattern like we're seeing, it may likely end up with a chart pattern. Most likely, like in this case, like a head and shoulder. So let's still remain bearish biased also on GBP JPY. And this is a 1 hour setup, just like the CAD JPY. All right, we'll look at the last JPY. That's the last JPY. New Zealand JPY doesn't seem to have any specific setup at the moment. Daily 4 hour. Okay, on 4 hour is looking, it's not clear. It's not clear, but then let me just show you. It's not too clear, but then this is looking like a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder. But then I'd rather stick with CHF JPY on 4 hour, CAD JPY on 1 hour, and GBP JPY on 1 hour, all for bearish trade. All of them head and shoulder. So those are clearer. That's the way I do analysis. I look through all of them and I pick the one that has the clearest setup. So I would say ignore AUDJPY. Now that doesn't mean it's not going to sell. It may sell, but just ignore it. You don't have to take all the trades. You don't have to. That would be over trading. And over trading can kill your account. So I would rather stick with CHFJPY on 4 hour head and shoulder for a sell, CAD JPY 1 hour head and shoulder for a sell, and GBP JPY 1 hour for a sell.
So what of Euro GBP?
If we analyze Euro GBP, that's a bullish, we're looking at a bullish pattern on Euro GBP.
Okay, nice.
It's a falling wedge on 1 hour. Okay, the other person is asking about GBP USD. Okay, now GBP USD. You need to take a lot of caution for now. GBP USD. Yesterday it formed a falling wedge.
I know, Mr. Regiment.
Yes.
I think CAD CHF has played out as you said. The question is, can one still enter that trade now? CAD CHF.
Yes, now you can enter inside the CAD CHF, but like I said, just target like 10, 20 pips. The reason is because this is what I feel is happening, an inverse head and shoulder. So it may sell, but not for long. And if you are not a fan of scalping, just wait. Just maybe I should even say wait for a breakout above the neckline. I think let me just say that let's wait for a breakout above this level for a buy on CAD CHF. It's safer that way. Because some may end up putting a sell now. They don't know when to close it, and the thing reverse to buy. They say it's a wrong signal. So let's wait for the long term. It's safer for everybody that way.
Okay.
And the move will be so much even on the long term, but it's safer that way. Okay. Okay, I was looking at GBP USD. And where's GBP USD? Okay. All right, so as I was saying, GBP USD made formed a falling wedge yesterday. Then it was trying to form. Let me check if it has any support level. Okay. There was a support on the daily time frame. So it was support on daily time frame, falling wedge on 1 hour, and a breakout. However, it hits the resistance level here. And this was looking like an inverse head and shoulder, head, and a second shoulder. And you can see all these things happening here, instability. For me, I just want to stay out. See, you cannot take everything. I've listed how many setup now, almost 8 setup. If one is not looking too clear, forget it and look for the clear one. Because this ranging is not, I rather want a clear break, a very clear break. When the market is liquid, it breaks out clearly, not the way it's ranging. Because what this one means is that you can't even take a buy trade here, even if this is a the second shoulder, the inverse of the inverse head and shoulder. You can't take a buy trade here until it breaks this the tip of this candle here, because this is a minor resistance. And how many pips are you looking at wasting away? That's almost 34 pips. Why? You don't have to. And you can see that this place also is already corresponding with another resistance level here, meaning price may get there and drop. See, when something is looking too clear, just stay away from it. That's the way I look at it. There are other trades you can take that will not give you that headache. So stick with the clear ones, leave the one that is not clear. Even if eventually you say that it goes there, just leave it. It's not any trade you have to take at all. So that's it on the GBP USD.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, I think that's all the analysis we have for today. A final question from just one person as we round up. Okay, in the absence of any further question, we'll call it a day. Thanks for joining the morning analysis. Please check these setups that we have drawn today and see how it plays out in the market. And in the course of the day, if I see any other setup, just like yesterday, I will post it in the WhatsApp group. You know, always check the WhatsApp group. Yes, sir.
Please, I want to ask if we can use MACD on phones.
Sure, you can use it on phone. You can.
I can't seem to fix it on my phone, MACD.
There's a please, whoever has the baby should mute. Now, if you check the WhatsApp, I believe you're on our WhatsApp group.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, if you scroll up, somebody made a request on how to add indicators to MetaTrader 4. I think it was on Monday, either on Monday or last Friday, one of the 2 days. And I did a video. Explaining how you can attach indicators to your MetaTrader, and I dropped it in the WhatsApp group. So just scroll up the WhatsApp group, you will see that video there. You can watch it. It will show you how to attach. I did how you can attach RSI, Relative Strength Index, and also moving average. Now, RSI is the same category as MACD, they are oscillators. So the way I've explained how you can attach your RSI, you can equally attach your MACD with the same method. So it's not difficult at all. All right, so okay, somebody said I get the WhatsApp group link. I'll drop it shortly after now. I'll drop it once we finish this class. I stop the recording, and I'll drop the link so that you can view it and watch in the course of the day as the market plays out in line with the analysis. Somebody said hello just now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I say, how can we download the writing tools in our system? The pen you are using to draw your head and shoulder.
Okay, you mean this white line I'm using?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's on Zoom. It's an application within Zoom.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's an application within Zoom. Yeah.
If you add me to the WhatsApp group, I'm not in the WhatsApp group.
You're not in the WhatsApp group?
Yes.
You don't contact Mr. Bawali who add you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
He said you're in a group. Just check your phone well. So how do you get the link to join the analysis? It's the same WhatsApp group. It's the same WhatsApp group where we drop the analysis link. It's the same WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's the same group. All right. Thank you everyone for joining this class today. We'll see you again some other time very soon. Take care. Trade safe. and enjoy your day. Bye.
Hello, sir. You haven't dropped your WhatsApp link, sir.
No, I don't need to drop it. You got to this Zoom through the link. Are you on our WhatsApp group, sir?
No, I am not.
Okay, okay. Send me a chat on WhatsApp. My number is 081.
Let me quickly take that. 081
081 4310
4310
6420.
6420. Okay, thank you.
Then Mr. Deleye Benjamin, you said you were invited by a friend. Good to have you here. So you can also send me a WhatsApp chat also, and I will add you to the WhatsApp group. My number again is 081 4310. Exactly, yes, yes. Just send me a chat after this class. I will add you. And you can invite other friends you have also, as many as possible. Thanks again, everyone. Bye-bye.